A BBC investigation identified 7 Britons who died after weight loss surgery just in Turkey and since 2019. 7 human beings with families gone. And that's just bariatrics. The UK Foreign Office has said it's aware of more than 25 British nationals who've died in Turkey also since 2019. That was following other medical procedures. Later reporting has put that toll at around 28 deaths by March 2024. This isn't a blip, it's a pattern. Doctors here have been crystal clear. The NHS is picking up the pieces. Wards are filling with people returning from overseas ops with infections, leaks, wound breakdown, even sepsis. And the elective lists get cancelled so they can treat the emergencies that we should never have had. So when people tell me that Turkey is cheap, I want to scream at them. Cheap up front can be catastrophic later, sometimes fatal, sometimes a life sentence of complications. Is that what you want? You don't see the after because there's no influencer deal for tube feeds, PICC lines and revision surgeries. I've heard stories of people going abroad for surgery, come back thinking they have had a sleeve, seek further advice in the UK because somehow it's not working, only to find out that they have never had a sleeve, or a bypass that on further investigation bears no resemblance whatsoever to how a bypass should look. Now, these can be corrected, but that means you've got to go under the knife twice, unnecessarily. And let's make no bones about this. These fixes are going to have to be very big ops. There's even been a story of one person who flew all the way to India for surgery. And that surgeon made 2 cuts into the stomach so that they had scars. And that was it. No surgery whatsoever. Very happy to take their money, though. So how cheap is this surgery really? Let me be crystal clear. Not all surgeons in Turkey or Bulgaria or India or elsewhere are charlatans. There are excellent, well-trained surgeons in Turkey. They are JCI accredited hospitals and they're doing good work. But even if your operation is technically perfect, 2 things can still put you in danger: flying home too soon and thin or non-existent aftercare. So if you have your op today and you're on a plane tomorrow, how safe is that? There are long periods of immobility right after surgery which raise your risk of deep vein thrombosis, which we know as DVT, and a pulmonary embolism, which we know as PE. And that's clots in the legs that can travel to the lungs. And UK clinical advice is explicit. NHS hospital leaflets and clinics warn that long journeys, and we're not talking overnight flights here, we're talking journeys of 4 hours and more, that's Turkey. In the weeks after surgery, they double the risk of DVT, and many advise avoiding long-haul flights for up to 4 weeks and also using compression stockings, walking and hydration if you must travel. Now, this is a mouthful for me, but I'm going to give it a go. The British Association of Aesthetic, Plastic Surgeons, Cosmetic Tourism Guidelines from September 2023, they go further. For higher risk procedures, they recommend patients stay in the destination country 1 to 2 weeks, even 2 to 4 weeks after surgery. They recommend that they have at least 1 post-op review by the operating surgeon before travel, and they ensure that they have booked follow-ups once home. So, being put on a plane the next day, in my opinion, that's the opposite of best practice. But okay, if you're still considering surgery abroad, please verify the surgeon and the hospital. Look for recognised board certification and international accreditation. Arrange in-person consults. That means not with a sales agent. Build in recovery time. Budget for recovery time. Do not accept next day flights, please.